Welcome to this week's episode of your Power Packed Podlet. This is the second in a series of three. Today, we're going to be looking at your happiness and success through the lens of the body. Last week, we were looking at through the lens of the soul. So, going through the three lenses of the human experience, the body, the mind, and the soul. Those of you who follow a yoga practice, you would have heard that the word yoga union is referencing this. It's the union of the body, the mind, and the soul, the different aspects of the human experience. And so, why is this so potent for us to look at? As you understand your human experience on greater and greater levels, because there's always more to learn and expand into, right? There's always something that we don't yet understand about ourselves, about our physical experience, our soul experience, our mind experience. And it's so beautiful to expand into that. And also by getting this greater depth of personal wisdom and letting go of things that don't serve you, you can more easily step into greater levels of success, prosperity, and happiness. So, as I record this, I'm doing this on Monday morning. It's my first day back from having been in the UK for 10 days. I'm back home on Spanish soil. And this is such a beautiful moment to be speaking about the importance of looking after the vessel, looking after the home that you live in, and really understanding different elements of that part of your experience, the impact that this has on your capacity to build to another level of financial wealth, of impact. We're going to be looking at something specific, which through my own personal experience and also through science, through the more logical side of things, and also through working with thousands of clients. This is the aspect that I have seen has the most impact when it comes to the physical body and your capacity to build everything from a place of inner safety and trust. We'll get into that in a moment. Let's do a little recap of what we covered last week. And I'm going to be sharing with you a crucial element, something I teach inside the school, and something that with the students we come back to on a regular basis that's super powerful and I know is going to land for you incredibly. So last week when we focused on the soul, we were focusing on the power of purpose, of meaning, of impact, and how when it comes to your happiness, understanding the importance, the drive that purpose, meaning, and impact have is a crucial part to your success. Now, there was one element that I didn't bring to the table when it comes to soul that I'm going to plant that seed for you now. We won't be going into it in depth. This is something I go into more in depth with in the school, in my paid spaces. I want to plant this seed for you so that you can take it with you, especially in those challenging moments, especially in those moments that you're feeling that you potentially want to give up. It feels like it's a little bit too much. You're getting overwhelmed. When we look at our life experience and we look at the creation of our business through the lens of the soul, we can acknowledge that if we do not encounter challenges, if we do not encounter obstacles along the road, there will not be the requirement for us to grow. And so without growth, there is that stagnant energy of consistently remaining the same. Without growth, there isn't that requirement to let go of things in your current human experience that are getting in the way of your next level. And so when we encounter an obstacle and a challenge inside the school, what I'm continually guiding students to is, why is this here for you now? What is it showing you? How is this helping you to grow? And when you look at this through the lens of not the victim, the lens of being the creator of your life experience, why are you choosing to create this? On a level of soul, why are you choosing to create this? Why is this a gift? Even though it may feel challenging in the moment, how can you look at it through the lens of gratitude? And when we sit and we actually look at things through the lens of gratitude, growth, What in you is creating this? Why is this exactly what you need right now? Because this isn't fact, this is choice. It is choice, your free will to choose to see things through the lens of growth, to choose to see the challenges as opportunities. Opportunities potentially to choose never to experience that again. And then the questions are, okay, what can you do? Like, what's in your power to assure this doesn't happen to you again? And the reason I wanted to share this aspect of the soul journey with you is it flows perfectly into what we're going to be talking about around the body. This summer was so different. This summer, when I went back to the UK and I spent time with my parents, it highlighted profoundly and deeply how far I've come in a really short period of time. I'm grateful to be in the process of integrating that realization still. This summer, my nervous system was so incredibly balanced. Acknowledging living from this place of inner safety and building my business and my wealth from this place of inner safety, it really highlighted where I've come from. Now, those of you who've been following me for some time, you might have thought I was going to talk about the physical. We're going to talk about nutrition and eating avocados. I do talk about that with my clients, of course. Those of you who know me, I've been working in health, fitness, well-being, nutrition for decades with thousands of clients. Yes, it's a foundational part of not just your physical health, also your emotional and psychological well-being. This is science. It's not woo-woo, it's science. Your emotional well-being is hugely impacted by the food you eat and the way you move your body and what you allow yourself to release through the movement in your body. So exercise is an integral part of releasing stress, anxiety, frustration, sadness, loneliness, all of the things. It is the body in movement, it's emotion in movement, and it allows you to move it out of the body. Yeah, so building a strong body isn't just about having nice muscles. It's about having that physical, that experience of physical power and strength. That isn't a conversation for today, even though I believe so deeply in that. Something even more important than exercise and nutrition is recalibrating your nervous system. Stress, as we build our businesses, is the number one factor that gets in the way of us actually being able to enjoy the journey. So many business owners experience burnout and can't continue. So many business owners, because they're experiencing exhaustion, can't actually be of service to others, can't actually build, can't live to their fullest potential because of stress. Because of the stress, not necessary stress, unnecessary stress. Worries, anxieties, projecting fears into the future, trying to control outcomes. Constantly. Thought after thought, breath after breath, moment after moment. I see so many business owners doing it. I used to do this. It was exhausting. It felt like it was so much to hold in my body. All of these worries about all of the plates that I was spinning in my life and my business. And I went through a period of 18 months of chronic anxiety. And I don't recommend it. And I used to go back to my parents in the summertime as I could not hold that anxiety in my nervous system anymore. And it would be this feeling of going back to the womb, of being nurtured and held, because I just couldn't do it on my own anymore. It felt like so much. And it'd be like this releasing of the pressure cooker, where I would go back and just let go of all of the things. And it would literally be 10 days to 2 weeks of recovering, of just functioning, because I've been holding on to so much. And the reason I wanted to share with you seeing through things through the lens of the soul is I've always been a person, thanks to depression and experiencing the darkness of depression in my younger life, in my late teens. I'm grateful to have had it at such a young age. I'm grateful to have experienced being close to burnout on multiple occasions in my business, because the discomfort and the pain of that have been driving forces for me not to be willing to tolerate even the slightest amount of unnecessary stress, or even the slightest amount of something that takes me out of my power, that takes me out of believing in myself, that takes me away from actually living a life that makes me happy. So I see even those experiences were really, really hard. The memory of them have been a driving force to remind me to keep going. Even when something's really small, a small thought that's causing me stress and to not be in my power and to worry and overthink things, I don't have space for it. And so between those summers when I was in pieces to where I'm able to spend a summer where I've just had my highest cash month in my life ever, I've taken 3 weeks off completely from work, 3 or 4 weeks, 46 days where I only had one full day of work, these last 46 days, to be able to really relax and let go and trust and surrender and be present in my life. It's required I do some work to get there. The fact that that was so challenging was the driving force that kept me going, that made me willing to keep repeating the loving inner processes to not tolerate unnecessary stress. Because a lot of business owners, you may be out there thinking that stress is a normal part of life. It is only a normal part of life because you choose it. Because maybe a lot of people around you are normalizing that for you. Everybody else is stressed by this and this and this. Just because they are does not mean that you have to choose that for yourself. Does not mean that that needs to be your inner reality. Does not mean that your insides need to be in knots all of the time. As someone who now, my dominant state of being is a feeling of grounded presence, where something can come to me in my business and I can take a deep breath and I can deal with it. I can hold so much more from a place of trust and knowing that if it doesn't work out, it's because it wasn't meant to, and there's always something else. The trust in myself of knowing how to move through the hard parts, that I will find a way no matter what. Why? Because I have proof of having done it again and again and again. I have proof that I find a way, that I show up for myself, that I don't give up. And so it's this combination of holding that duality as soul-led, heart-led, empathic business owners. The work is learning to hold that duality of never giving up on yourself, knowing that you will always find a way, trusting that you will always find a way, taking action, keeping going up until you get the result and beyond. Keeping going. Because sometimes the results you want will take time. Others will take less, some will take more. It's not about, I need it now, I need it now. It's about trusting it will come when it comes and taking aligned action whilst the duality is not tolerating stress. So, and this is one of the things, being in a space. So I'm continually in spaces where if something new comes to the table for me or something I'm not quite sure how to release the stress around, I have my coaches and mentors that guide me through that I can talk to them about the things and they talk me through it. They help me look at multiple perspectives. We go from holding something in the nervous system, being worried about it, to having a logical, grounded conversation. I bring something to the table. This is concerning me. My thoughts around it are this and this. And then we have a logical conversation. So what can you do? What's a perspective shift? What's another way to look at this? And it's done in real time, consistently, every day. It's a gentle heartbeat a grounded heartbeat, not dan, 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 not that heartbeat that you can't sustain, that rhythm that you cannot sustain in your nervous system because you're holding so much. And this is one of the crucial elements of why I believe so much in support and why I've created the school in the way that I have. As I know personally what stress does. I know what it feels like to feel overwhelmed, anxious, and like I couldn't cope anymore. And the inner child in me just wanted to say, Mom, Dad, please do it for me. Yeah, that feeling of, please, somebody else do this for me. I don't want to hold it. I don't want to do it anymore. And it's so hard to build success from that place. So on a level of physical nervous system regulation is baseline. It's number one. And so in the school, we are continually holding space for what's causing you anxiety and stress right now? What's on your mind? What's worrying you? Shift it, shift it, shift it. Aha moment, shift in perspective, grounded back into inner safety. What is the version of you who is showing up in her power right now? What does she think and feel? And it's this support system in which things are shifted so as to be able to step into that, the identity of the woman, one who's supported, one who doesn't have to hold the things all on her own, who moves with ease, and who's able to talk about the deepest worries in her life from a place of logic and safety. So let me leave you with this. We have the 30-day deal that is on. It is literally only 222 euros. Those of you who are questioning, you've been thinking about joining and you're like, oh, it's 222 euros. Or, when it was in pre-launch, 111. Once you have invested that money and you've received a whole 30 days of support, what do you think is going to concern you more? Sometimes we let something so small hold us back from having an experience that's going to change our lives, not for a month, forever. Allowing yourself to be in a space, not only where you are held, where you get to observe other women being held who are thriving and what it looks like for them. To learn from them, not just from me, not just from me as the coach and mentor holding space for you, from all of the women in the space. There's a huge shift that's been happening in the world of spirituality, wellness, healing. The question is, are you choosing to join that movement, or are you choosing to still be in the singular mindset of I do everything on my own? Me, myself, and I. I've got to learn to do it this myself because I'm saving money by doing it myself. I'm saving time by doing it myself. No, you are not. There is so much because we hold on to this belief that I already know so much, so why do I need somebody else to help me? I already know what she's going to tell me. And we wall ourselves off from so much that you do not know yet. There is so much you've not been exposed to yet. If you already knew it, you would have the success that you're dreaming of. You wouldn't be where you're at now. You'd be playing at another level. So if there's a voice inside you saying, but I already know it, is that true? Are you living the reality that you want? Because if you're not, you want to be questioning those voices within you that are telling you that you've got to keep grinding by yourself. I'm just going to take a little course here. I'll invest in something small there. If you're ready to play at another level, it requires that you be supported and guided at a level you've not been supported and guided before. It requires that you be in rooms where the conversations that are being had stretch you, or they're being had, yes, I said it right the first time, are being had, stretch you continually, all of the time. It's time to stop playing small. Because you're here to do really big things. You're here to make a difference. You're here with a mission. And so you can walk the slow, grindy path, that feels like an uphill slog all of the time, or you can choose to work on the frequency, the identity, the belief systems, as well as the strategy. And you can speed that journey up and you can start having a really fucking good time. So, September is when we have the 30 days. For those of you who join the 30 days, I'm going to plant this seed now. You're entering a long-term container. This is not a short-term container where you get like 20 strategies that you then go and apply on your own. This is about experiencing what it is to go into a space where the women there are held long-term. You get to understand the difference in frequency and mindset of not focusing on instant gratification and quick results. It's like, who do you choose to be over this lifetime, and what are you going to do about it today? Who do you choose to be now? How do you choose to feel now? What are you letting go of in your nervous system now? So for those of you who join the 30 days, you'll get an exclusive deal to then extend for 12 months. I highly recommend jumping on that. You can jump on it straight away the moment you come through the doors. You will see what the deal is. It's insane. You can wait until the end of the 30 days so you can be in the experience. The deal will be a little smaller. Yeah, so the percentage off will be a little bit smaller, and it's still a no-brainer. So if you want to come in, you're like, I want to have the experience first to know, brilliant, go for it. We're even taking pre-sign-ups for next year's certification. So if that's something that interests you, whether or not you join the 30 days, you can send me a message. And you can sign up in advance for January 2026, which means you get an incredible chunk off the yearly payment. So next week is our third of this series where we're going into mind. This is a really, really powerful aspect of understanding your experience and what is getting in your way. I look forward to connecting with you again next Monday. I look forward to receiving your DMs about signing up for the 30 days. You can find the link. I highly recommend sending me DM and asking for the link. Yeah, because maybe I'll have something extra special for you to add on.